Hey everybody, good morning. It was actually a very nice morning. It was really sunny and nice outside, so I was like, God, let's go with the babies. But I just got out and look at that, it's just like really cloudy and the clouds are piling up more, but I don't think it's gonna be rainy. Tomorrow is my boys marathon and they will be it says it's gonna be a sunny day, so I really hope so. It's not that chilly, but because the wind is not on, if the wind is on, then it's really cold. And here are my sweetnesses. This is my girl. She sleeps. She loves to sleep. She slept till late. And this guy, my sweet guy, if he were awake, he would be smiling at you as always, but he was really tired. He woke up early this morning, so anyways, it's getting cold, and where we sleep, I don't turn on the heat yet because it's not like blasting icy winds yet, so under the blankets feels good. But I think from tonight I'm gonna put another layer over us because yeah, they fight with those blankets. I wish I had like a small baby sleeping bag so I can zip them in so they don't have to run out of it. Seriously, those two. And I cannot really sleep in any comfort or any like deep sleep because I'm always worried about them, and I hear them. They just sneak out of the futon on the tatami floor and their body starts getting cold and their hands are freezing, and just like, put them back in the covers, and I'm between them so I can keep them warm, but like they sneak out. So I turn towards one and then the other one starts moving and crying. I'm like, oh gosh, I just wish I had like this kangaroo big sleeping bag so I can zip us all in, so you can guys be quiet and content, because once you snuggle them up, they're good. Which reminds me, I could probably start doing that. Like, how do you call it? Swaddle them. Even though they're 10 months, I could probably do that so they can be content, warm, and comfortable, and hopefully not moving all over the place. So yeah, that's my night. So yeah, I think like the first 2 or 3 hours of your sleep are the most precious and like deep sleep. So that's what I'm always hoping for every night, to just have at least those 2 or 3 hours straight, maybe an hour or two even, like complete knock out, so I can just get my body fresh, and then the rest of the night I can wake up anytime and just attend them, because I don't know, I don't want them to get sick. It's not like 24 degrees Celsius at night. It's not really. It's probably around 10 or below, because we're in a Japanese house, like in like those traditional old ones. Like look at this house. This house is like more modern kind of style, and this ahead of me, that's a Japanese style house. So the difference is, those that are made of the more modern style, they nowadays they can make them even with isolation where no air can come in or out. So the only thing that you can do is open the windows and the AC inside. But and then again, every room has its own AC. There's no central heating installed anywhere. But the Japanese house sucks really bad in the winter, but in the summer is really nice because it's breezy and it keeps it cooler inside. So it's really nice in the summer. But in the winter, it's like, oh my gosh, please don't go in those hallways, because it equals a freezer to me, seriously. And so from the bathroom, when I bathe the babies, to the kitchen is a very short hallway, but like long enough to make you, any drop of water left on your legs or anything can just freeze right away. No, I'm kidding. I'm overreacting because I just hate it. I hate it so bad. Anyway, some winters are miserable. I'm like a cat. I don't want to touch water. But then again, I do all the time. So splitting fingers, everything, like skin anywhere split. So tons of lotion. It's like Utah, reminds me of Utah. Anyway, so Japanese house is like beautiful. Probably 90% wood, if not 95. The rest is paper and glass. So those sliding doors that slide You know, when you close a door in Europe, for example, or maybe in the States too. I'm not very familiar with all the houses in the States, but I assume it's like in Europe. You know, when you close the door, you can keep the room warm, and you can probably hear people talking, but not as much unless you're like sticking your ear on the door. Here, with those sliding doors, I mean, between the doors that slide, you can actually stick your finger, let alone heat coming in and out. Or, I mean, it's not meant to keep warm constantly. That's what it is. And so, and I'm convinced people believe here that rotation of air is really important. So throughout the years, I've been trying to seal those. They have like those little windows that slide. They're very narrow and they are over the doors. And then I try to seal those in between spaces, but then I remember my husband asking me, why do you do that? I'm like, to keep the rooms warm in the winter. And he's like, it's good for the air to come in and out, he says. Well, probably it's true, because you know, mold can start piling up and things like that. But on the other side, it's very costly to keep a room warm all winter long with a kerosene heater, or the AC electricity is so high. So I don't know which one is better, like keep the air coming in and out, or keep the room warm for the season. At least I'm grateful it's December and I'm still with like just this, so I'm grateful. And the AC is on in the morning, the heating version of it, because is it like that in everywhere? Because I never grew up with the AC installed in our house. And back home in Bulgaria, and in the States, it's always been like central heating, so you can control the thermostat. But here, the ACs in the winter they blow hot, and in the summer they blow cold. So I don't know if it's like every country like that. Do they make them like that too? But I don't know. So I have to do just like clean the filters every once in a while. Good reminder, I have to do that. Yeah, so we turn on in the morning because it's really cold. It's like 10 degrees or so. For me, it's cold. And then, wow, the wind is really cold right now because there's no sun. It's gonna be a short walk today. But other than that, yeah, it's really cold, what I'm saying. So Japanese house is much colder than like if you have like a new modern style kind of house. And nowadays you can make them you can strengthen. There are different levels of strength, earthquake wise, or isolation wise, or like the woods that you use. It could be you can put like underneath a heating system. You could do whatever you want, but with those old houses, like the kitchen floor is sinking every time we like the tile over it is cracking, so the babies go and stick their fingers. So I put duct tape, but the duct tape gets worn out, so they're like it's just like a constant mess. It's really old. And then where the fridge is, the wood pieces are really old and bending, so the fridge is sinking down somewhere, because the house is like in Hawaii, they stay on legs, wooden legs. So between the floor of the house and the ground, there's like at least a meter. The reason I know is because I've seen one grandpa, like a handyman guy, handyman coming, and actually for the first time I saw how they take the tatami floor rectangles, and then there's like on the wooden floor underneath there's like they had like a little door in that house that opens, and then he goes in, and he's like quite small grandpa, but like he had to bend too, so it was like a meter, I think. And so he bended, and he was looking for I don't know, he just went under the house and looked for in the kitchen or in the bathroom or something. I don't remember. He was looking for something like maybe that had to be fixed. And I looked down. I just stuck my head down and I looked down, and it was just like dirt. It was just dirt. I'm like, this is like perfect place for living of like all kinds of insects, and let alone snakes or like rats or anything. I don't know, but we don't have those at home, thank goodness. But I was thinking, you know, they're like those because outside you don't see the legs of the house, it's like lifted up, but like outside it's cemented, and they have like those little openings with say like metal kind of net, so the air can come in and out in that dirt. That's what, I don't know, like, do they have grass on? No, I don't think there's grass growing there, because you need sunshine and water, so no grass there. And then also from the rooftop to the ceiling of the room, there is also a space, and then there's this opening in one of the drawers that I'm not gonna tell my kids about it, because I'm sure if they know, they're gonna go get the ladder, they're gonna go to that upper drawer, and they're gonna go in there. And we've heard throughout the years, we've heard maybe some kind of animal like cats, or I don't know, I've heard like on the top of the roof, and the kids are like, what was that? I'm like, I don't know, some kind of animal. Sometimes birds go there and get stuck accidentally, they don't know how to get out, so you can hear them flipping with their wings, but they they can't get out of it. So I don't, maybe they eventually die there. I don't know how many skeletons there are. I have no idea, you guys. But so what I'm saying is, that house, that whole thing, you cannot keep that thing warm in the winter. There is no way. So the other option is you just stay under blankets, or in front of the heater, or the AC, whatever, or inside of the bathtub with hot water, and that's it. Everywhere else you have to be layers and layers and layers and layers. And the other good thing about the bathroom, not the men's, so in our house we have two bathrooms. One is for the guys only to go pee there, and the other one is, you know, for number one, number two for ladies, and for everybody else. So the one where they pee, it's cold, it's really cold, and the window we keep it open because, you know, mommy doesn't have time every week to clean it up. And the other one, the bathroom that you sit on, the toilet, it has this warm seat. So I remember when we lived in Belfast, but like back home was a squat when growing up, but in Belfast we had a toilet, and then we brought from Japan those warm, it's like a fabric, like fluffy it's not blanket, fluffy thing that you put on the top of the seat, so it keeps your bum warm. But it was still kind of cold, you know, like, because you're used to, like, you sit here on the toilet and it's like, it's so nice and warm, and it has like 3 levels, I think, of warm. Like in the summer we keep it like to the lowest, because nobody wants to sit on like really, really cold. And so in the winter we make it to the highest, and then because that radiates heat throughout the night, and we keep the window closed at night, when you go in the morning, it probably is much, much warmer than the kitchen or something like that. That's what I'm saying. So it's very interesting. It has like splashing, has lots of buttons, and ours is broken, so it doesn't work, because I don't know how many years before we came to the house it worked. I have no idea. But you could spray warm water or cold water to wash you up. So ours is broken, so like whatever you push, it just, I don't know, and the water that comes out is always cold. So it's like, I'm telling everybody, no, don't use that, because you're gonna get cold. And so but I've seen in, you know, newer versions in the mall or like in other people's houses, they have lots of buttons. They have like they have like lady button, they have like for bum button to wash, they have every kind, and then levels of how warm you want the water, how cold or hot. It's just amazing. It's amazing. I know that some of them sing given, but like, who cares about that, right? You just go for the thing to feel relief, right? So that keeps the warm. I remember when my mom and she came with one of our friends all the way to Japan from Bulgaria, because she doesn't really feel confident to travel by herself, and he knows some English. He's a really good friend. So they came together, and then that was for when my second boy was born. Well, that's like a long time ago, huh? Anyway, so they come and they ask me when they use the bathroom, which of course they are not really slim people like Japanese size people. They're Bulgarian size people. Like, we're not that small, tiny skinny, thin people. But so our bathroom is really tiny side. I mean, you open the door and you just have to kind of like go around the toilet and sit on it. Literally, you cannot really, I don't know, you cannot really do much around it. It's just like really small. I'll show you guys. I'll show you next time. That's why my hiding places, remember? Anyway, so they asked me, because behind the toilet there's like a sink. So when you flush it, there's like a little tap that starts filling up with water runs, and so I have like a liquid soap there. And my mom was asking me, so that water that comes from the faucet, is it like from the toilet or how does it work? I'm like, no, it's not from the toilet. It goes into the tank that you flush that water to the toilet. It was really cute how she was like, is that like clean water? I'm like, well, you don't drink it, but it's not the one from the toilet, okay? So it doesn't make any sense, right? But it was really cute because they didn't know how to figure out things. And so, like, not to mention how as the shower, oh my gosh, I had to tell them and explain to them and show them how the shower works. And for me it makes sense, but I'm here for how many years now? 10. Anyway, so so there's like this tank that fills up the water, and when you wash your hands with, and the water becomes soapy, so it's even better because you flush soapy water in the toilet, so that's, you know, it cleans it extra better, better, right, hopefully. And you can even drop sometimes some like chemical, or I do bleach so you can smell and sanitize it. But in general that place is dirty too, because again, 7 people, right? I drop the baby's poo-poo there too and flush it down, and sometimes it sticks and splashes into places where I didn't even know it's gonna go. But yeah, when I have time and desire, I clean it. But in general, you have to say it's just a mess. So yeah. Oh my gosh, talking about toilets today, wow. That's about, yeah, Japanese houses. Now the more modern houses, they have like, what I like about it is like they have lots of buttons, you guys. There's like a whole panel just installed inside of your bathroom, and you can turn on the heater from there. You can turn it on. Ours is like, where is the washer? So if I want to use warm water in the kitchen, I have to go out, go turn it on and go back to the kitchen, right? But it warms up the water in the kitchen. And in the hallway, so randomly on the hallway there's like a sink, because they don't have like a sink inside of the bathroom, where, you know, Western world, we know we have the toilet and the bathtub with the shower and then the sink, right? Everything is in my room. No, here is like, there's the sink outside in the hallway that is attached to like a whole panel thing that is like plastic, and it has a light, and has also outlet. You can plug in your hair dryer and a mirror and like few shelves, and underneath there's like a big shelf, a cabinet. So that's where I put the dog's food and everything else. So interesting. I had to adjust to that, because in the winter pretty much that is not usable at all. Like nobody goes there and washes there unless you use the bathroom, because the men's room has like a little sink, but the pipes are just attached. It's, again, old house, really old. So I'm pretty sure if I had super glue, I could just glue it around and just stick the pipe up again, so we can use that one. And the faucet is really weird. It's like opens underneath. It's really weird. So, but it's like really miserable little thingy there. And so but I guess in other places, in other houses, they use it, but we don't. So when the boys go use the men's room, they go to that sink outside in the hallway, and they wash their hands there, because that's where the soap is and everything, and there's warm water there running if the boiler is on, right? So that's that. And then there's this little tank filling up with water in the ladies' room. So that's about that. But then when you go inside of the house, of a traditional Japanese house, I think the new ones, they have it too. It's always lifted up. It's lifted up, and you have to leave your shoes down and step like 1 or 2 steps up. And they usually have like house shoes, or you can just walk with your socks. and on the wooden floor, and there's no like carpet or anything, at least not the hallways. I think some people maybe have in their rooms carpet, but I don't think so. It depends on the people, but it's mostly wood, so easy to, or tile, and it's easy to clean, I suppose. And then you put like fluffy carpets in the winter and stuff like that. But I'm not sure. I know some people have the heating system underneath, which is really nice. Like, can you imagine you don't need socks, you just walk on something warm, and when your feet are warm, every other part of the body is warm. Like at night, if my feet are cold, I cannot fall asleep until somehow I warm my feet. So my mom sends me those socks that are completely 100% wool, that were hand knitted by her friends, and she sends me those. And when they get worn out, I literally cry when I have to trash them, because they get worn out around the heel area, or like where the toes are. So I'm like, can't do much. But like, she sent me recently another pair, so I'm sleeping with them. I'm like, this is heaven. It's like I'm stepping on something really fluffy and warm, and it keeps me warm so I can sleep. So I'm very grateful for my mom for that. Oh, you guys, can you see that little cat? That's really cute. It's like standing there on the pillar. It's really good. Hello, kitty. There are so many cats here, and they usually, it's okay, you don't have to run away. It's okay, you don't have to run away, we're friends. I see a lot of cats, but people here are nice, because again, it's country, so I'm pretty sure everybody has like a bag of cat food somewhere, and they just, every once in a while, they just drop it somewhere out, and the cats know, and they don't necessarily keep them indoors, because I can imagine what the tatami floor would look like if you have a cat, because cats like do this, and they make sure that their nails are in good shape. So yeah, I can imagine it will be really a messy thing to do. The tatami floor is pretty much like straw. Is it made of bamboo? I don't know what it is made of. Probably bamboo. But yeah, it cannot really, and it's flammable too. So those that smoke have to be very careful on the tatami floor. I remember when I started working for my company as a English teacher, we had training meetings, and the orientation, they were, I was already living here, and I have my own place with family, but most of the people, they have to rent an apartment, and even in the apartments, they have some places, it depends how big is your apartment, but when you rent it, it has like a room with tatami. And they always told us, those of you who smoke, be careful, it's flammable, and it's very easy to, it wears out really fast, because you sleep on it and you walk on it, it just becomes really worn out. And so pretty much everybody has to replace it afterwards, or if they're lucky, they don't have to, but it's expensive thing to replace. And they're standard size of rectangles, and I don't know what their measurements are, but yeah. Anyways, it's chilly, so I'm gonna bring the babies back in. So if they sleep, they'll sleep inside, better than outside in the wind. But yeah, some houses around the neighborhood are really abandoned, and you can tell by like the outside, the walls, like this one's here, it's like that, worn out. And some are really nice, some are new. You can tell. I think people nowadays don't really build Japanese style houses anymore. First, because it's really costly. The wood is extremely expensive, because it's really good and smells good, and I can imagine like brand new house like that, it will be really expensive. So people choose the more economic kind of style house, which still does the job, by the way. It's just, yeah, it still does the job. It smells like somebody's burning wood. It smells good, like campfire. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, December already, and I'll let you know, guys, what happens tomorrow with my boys and their marathon, and how things work with school and PE classes and stuff like that. Yeah. Stay warm. I know in some places, including my homeland, it's already snowing, all right, and snow means cold. Cold means people stay in close places. That means easily spreading COVID-19. I was talking to a friend from Hawaii. She was reminding me of something that I probably knew, but it's part of history. It's like the Spanish flu, or the flu that we have today. Now, did it come? I didn't do research about it, but I want to learn more about it. It was in the 1920s or something, when it went to the States, and it killed millions of people too. And it took 2 years to, took the most, whatever the strongest one version of it took the lives of many, and then it weakened, slowly, and gradually weakened, and what we have now is flu shots, and it modifies, they have flu shots, but what they say here is like they have the flu shot for the flu that was from last year, which means if this year the flu is stronger, it could still attack you very well, and only the flu shot what can do is like make you probably not to go through it in a very harsh way, but like recover faster or something like that, have it like in a lighter version of it, because you had the flu shot. But I honestly don't believe in those shots, because I did it one time for my boys, and they still got it. I think 2 of them got it. I don't remember. I was like, what's the point? They're so expensive. This year they're free. All the flu shots are free, because in Japan people are like trying to fight with COVID-19, so flu shots are free. But it used to be for the kids, they require 2 shots, and I think in 2 weeks period of time or something like that. And so each shot was like about 3,000 yen, which is like what, $30. Well, for you guys probably doesn't look much, but it's a lot for 3 kids times 2, and for the adults is 1 time. But like I never really did it. I have this vague memory of coming to visit Japan as a student, with a husband being boyfriend back then. And then I remember his mom taking us all to the local clinic, and everybody got a flu shot. I don't remember if I refused or I did it anyways, because they were worried that it was January. It was December, right? It was December, yeah. The winter break. And so she took us all. I don't remember. I really hate needles, and back then even more. Now I'm used to it after 5 kids, but no, I still don't like it. Needles is gross. That's why I can never do drugs, right? Hard drugs. Anyway, so black humor. Anyways, so I don't remember if I refused or I did it, but they were probably worried that we'll go back to Hawaii and have the flu and get sick and cannot attend classes or something like that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they did it out of care, but you had to pay, and I didn't know that back then. So I don't remember if I did it or not, but if I did, they paid for me too. So yeah, no, not a good feeling. Not a good feeling. Like, no, thank you. No, any day I will say no to that. But if they have a shot that they create for the COVID-19 that works, did they ever create it, you guys? Do they have it already? I don't know if people are still working on it or not, but everybody's scared, because I read articles about how they're gonna put like microchips inside, and that's gonna go into your blood and blah blah blah. I don't know. Everybody's like scared and worried and marked. Nobody wants to be marked. Everybody wants to keep their freedom and identity and independence, right? That's like, this world is not like, we're not sheep, we're people. So we don't bend our heads to the few who want to feel in power, in charge, and with their money and their whatever. So I'm not getting political. I just hate politics and things like that. So I just want relief from this pandemic, and people could go and visit again, and no isolation in holidays or any other normal day of the year and the month and the week. But stay warm, stay safe, and stay away from the germs. See you tomorrow. Bye.